There you go. Now you know. Okay, welcome everyone to the Camp Ronald McDonald for Good Times Town Hall meeting, summer 2021. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Let's get started. So what are we going to cover today? Well, first of all, I'm starting with a welcome. I'm Fatima Jolene Rodriguez, the Executive Director for Camp. So welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. We are then going to hear from Steve Watson, who's going to tell us about his family camp experience as well as his camp at home experience. Then we're going to be hearing from Brian Crater, our Associate Executive Director, with the campsite update. Next, we're going to hear from Monet Moss, who is a camper graduate and currently our social media volunteer. And she'll be telling us all what's new with program, and we have an exciting announcement as part of that portion of the agenda. Next, I'll talk a little bit about our upcoming fall gala. We have two of our honorees here, so really excited to share about the fall gala November 14th. And finally, Marlene will be telling you other ways you can support if you're interested in supporting camp even more than you all already do. So without further ado, we have here Stephen Watson, and I'm actually going to stop share so that you all can see Stephen. Here's a beautiful picture of him and his family up at camp, and then I'll reshare once he's finished speaking.
Thank you, Fatima. So yeah, I'm Steve, Alana Watson's dad. We first came to camp in 2019 as my daughter was finishing up treatment for brain cancer. And if there, since I'm doing my best to be brief, I could talk for a very long time about the joys of camp if pressed to do so, but now I'm being pressed to be short, so I'll try. If I had to sum up camp in one word that might not be obvious, it's community. That is what camp has really meant for us. When you get that cancer diagnosis, you abruptly lose a lot of your community. We were yanked away from our home for medical treatment, and nobody really understands you. It's like when you get married, you don't understand your single friends anymore. And when you have kids, you don't understand your friends without kids anymore, and they don't understand you. When cancer enters your life, it's like you've had this unwelcome family member added to your family, and nobody understands you anymore except for people who've been through the same thing. And Ronald McDonald Camp did a fabulous job of bringing together these families with similar experiences, similar stories to share, and so that we could share our hopes, share our fears, both from the perspective of the parents and from the perspective of the kids. We could all share with each other. The opportunity to open my heart and have others open their heart to me was incredibly healing. And that's what I remember most from our first camp on the mountain. Yeah, there was the fun activities and the hikes and the archery and everything else, but forging that community. And we still have, we have friends who we talk to frequently on Facebook who we met up on the mountain. And obviously this last year has been extremely isolating for everyone. As much as cancer isolates a family, this has been isolating on a whole different level. And when we first went into lockdown, my daughter was going through PTSD just because of that isolation. And getting back with the community, seeing the faces that she knows and loves, spending some time with Pun, spending some time with those camp counselors who she remembers and loves, Namdam and Sundrop, was truly phenomenal for her and for us. More so than any of the individual activities that I could hypothetically name, which were all wonderful, and all the little things in the box were wonderful, but the chance to have continuity in that community was what I most valued in virtual camp. And I want to thank everybody so much for making that continue to be a thing, for helping us to be able to continue to join together with this extended cancer family and cancer survivor family and cancer adjacent family. You have all been a tremendous blessing to our lives. I wish I could thank each of you individually, but there isn't time. So pretend I just thanked you, you individually by name. Uh, thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Steve. We really appreciate your heartfelt words and for being here. I know that you mentioned you're taking time from work, so we appreciate it so very much. Awesome. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. So next, we're going to hear from Brian Crater. I'll let you take it away, Brian.
That's hard to follow, Steve. Thank you so much for being so sincere, so articulate, because your family is exactly what we are here for. So thank you for sharing that. I've been asked, and hello, everyone. I'm not sure exactly how many of you have been on past calls, and I'm glad you're all here on present calls. Just wanted to take a few minutes because I know a lot of people ask, and gosh only knows there is a lot going up here actually at the campsite. So let me just kind of run through these fairly quickly. As hopefully you know, we do have a cabin project in process. So we're building a new cabin village. And as we go through those details and we're waiting for the final little nuances on our camp permits, we've been busily working for in-kind gifts because as we know, those in-kind gifts that we can have during construction can help save every dollar that we can just to make sure that more families and more children can attend camp. So I just wanted to kind of shout out to a number of those through different individuals like yourselves and different connections. We've been able to actually recruit and bring on board Robertson Cement, a large cement provider here in Riverside County that's going to be helping us out with the cement slabs and walkways and those kind of things. Also, Living Spaces, you've probably seen their commercials for their wonderful furniture. They've actually helped us out with cabin bunks. And as a matter of fact, those are going to be delivered next week, actually, up here in preparation for the camp, for the cabins. We also have from Mitsubishi is donating actually the heating units for each one of the cabins. Very efficient, both financially as well as energy. So a new technology they have called mini splits, and they'll be going into the cabins and we're receiving those. We're also working with a window provider. Gosh only knows there's a lot of windows and doors just to bring the outside into cabins, so we're working with them currently. I will say that if anybody on this call, if you happen to know, we are looking for some additional donations, especially having to do with window coverings. In the past, we've had a provider that helped us out. We have the person at that location actually moved on. So if anybody knows anybody that's in the window covering business and has a huge heart, please let us know. We'd love to talk with them about this upcoming project. A couple other things that's just been happening most recently. So there's a wonderful relationship that has developed for the charity, not only for camp, but for the Ronald McDonald House charities here locally, and I will say even nationally. And this was brought to us by Charles Antis of Antis Roofing. Charles, I think, originally got involved with our Orange County Ronald McDonald House, served on that board, and he actually came up to camp and helped us out with our dining hall project and with taking a look at the engineering of that roof, and then had the epiphany and had the energy and has actually created a consortium of roofing industries, most specifically shell roofing, and created what we call a roofing alliance across the country. And they've adopted Ronald McDonald House charities to actually help out with all of our houses as well as camp to do ongoing maintenance and repair work on some of the roofs. And as a matter of fact, just this last week, we had a number of members of that alliance, including Charles from Annis Roofing, and they came up and they re-roofed what we at camp call Stephanie's Closet, which is kind of our program supply and arts and crafts building, which was in badly need of a new roof. They also went around to every roof in camp, and they made sure that it was weather tight and removed debris and those kind of things, just to make sure that our roofs could last as well as we can and that we were fire safe. So a big thank you to Charles Antis, Antis Roofing, Shell Roofing, and the Roofing Alliance. We couldn't, these kinds of gifts are just invaluable for the charity. And not only that, but they also did a program that they like to call Love Drop, which is actually that same day we had members of the staff that were up packing our Camp in a Box program, which you'll be hearing a little bit about later. And we were stuffing boxes, and with Love Drop, they actually recruited Yahoo Tacos and Yogurtland to help provide lunch for everybody that was up here. So wonderful, wonderful way. Once again, just saying thank you for all the work that our volunteers and our staff do on behalf of the campers that are out there. So it was really a great day last Thursday, and you might have seen it on social media. Another thing that I just wanted to kind of share too was this spring, we've had a couple of great angels come to camp. Well, actually last in spring, the Bulldogs is listed on this. It's actually University of Redlands. Their football team is known as the Bulldogs, and for 14 years, the men of the football team have actually, in lieu of spring break, come and spend 4 or 5 days here at camp. They feed themselves, they get volunteer food, they do all that. But what they also do is they do all of our fire clearances. And what that means is pulling all the possible tinder of pine needles, leaves, sticks, and all that away from buildings and away from our barriers to make sure that the site can be as fire safe as possible. And gosh, only know we've all heard about the high fire season, and especially how vulnerable we are this spring with how dry it is. So the Bulldogs, once again, another big thank you out to them. They also helped us out with a project, in that we have, for those of you who've been to camp, we have in the middle of the meadow, we have an old tennis court that actually had a small 3-foot pony wall around it, and an activity tent where our campers during the summer get to enjoy dance events or floor hockey, or just a place in the shade to have great activity. And the Bulldogs actually pulled away that old pony wall that was really a bad need of repair. They pulled that away, and at the same time, we were able to recruit the Carey family. Grace and Carey, who's been a camper of ours, and her mom, Nikki, and also her brothers and her dad and all that. They, for those of you who've been a part of that, might remember they actually did a rehabilitation project on one of our cabins last fall, where they're coming up this weekend to rebuild that pony wall all the way around that dance tent. So when camp opens again, it'll be a safe, confined area, just once again to be able to enhance programs like our dances and outside events. So once again, a big hats off to the Carey family, to the Bulldogs. Just a small little thing of what happens and how people just jump on board for your camp. We up here at camp always invite certain members of organizations. So Idlewild Fire Department, which is very local, they've actually been coming and making sure that the fish in our Jackson Pond and Walter the fish are well fed and well caught. And so they come out every once in a while and they fish at the pond, and they really wanted to do something of their own volition. They actually went and bought all the paint, and they painted all of our fire hydrants and our fire protection systems around the site. So it's little gifts like that we continue to do as we get ready to kind of open, and just to make sure that we are as well prepared as we can for our campers. So once again, thanks to all of them, and thanks to all of you for being a part of camp.
That's awesome. Thank you, Brian. And I'm sure folks have lots of questions. I just asked, let's save questions till the end. So you can put questions in the comment section, or just keep them in mind, and then we can ask at the end. So next, I'd like to present Monet Moss, camp alumni and social media volunteer, and she's going to provide us with a program update.
Thank you. So hi, everyone. My name is Monet. I am a camper graduate. I graduated in 2019, and I'm currently serving as a social media intern for camp. So a little bit about my camp experience. I started coming to family camp in 2005 when I was 4 years old, about a year after my brother's leukemia diagnosis. And I was a camper all the way until winter of 2020, which was my very last session as a camper. And I've been super involved since then. Camp is my whole world and it means so much to me. So I've been trying to stay as involved as I can since then. So our first program update is Camp at Home, and Camp at Home will still be continuing for the week of July 9th and the week of July 23rd. I was lucky enough to be at camp this past Thursday when the love drop was happening, packing the duffel bags that we were handing out and seeing everything that's going inside of them for the campers. And it's super exciting that they still get to continue doing this despite camp not being fully open right now. And I was also super lucky to be at the Loma Linda pickup location this past Saturday when campers were coming to pick up their duffel bags. And it's super exciting seeing campers and seeing how excited they are to be able to participate in the virtual programming despite not being fully reopened. So that was really exciting for me. And I know it's super exciting for kids and for the campers to still get to be involved with camp. And it's really special that programs are still continuing this summer. So speaking of reopening, I'm super excited and so honored to be able to announce that camp is planning to reopen for fully vaccinated graduating campers from the class of 2020 and the class of 2021 this Labor Day weekend for an exclusive graduate camp. So besides that being super exciting because camp is going to be reopening again and people are actually going to get to be on site, I know how much it means to be a graduating camper because I graduated pretty recently in 2019. And the last session that you spend as a camper at camp is really special and it's really exciting to be able to celebrate yourself, celebrate your graduation and moving on from being a camper. And it's a really special time that you get to spend as your after your graduation in your last session. So it's really special that the graduates are going to be able to come back, the ones that missed their last summer session for this special weekend to celebrate themselves and to be the first people to celebrate camp being fully open. So that is pending the future circumstances regarding the COVID variants and seeing what happens with that and where that goes. But the plan is right now to fully reopen this Labor Day weekend in September. And lastly, the Teen Advisory Committee, or TAC, at camp will be at camp in August to help prepare for graduate camp, which is also super exciting that some familiar faces are going to get to spend some time up at camp again this summer preparing for the graduates coming in September.
Beautiful job, Monet. Thank you so much. And of course, I mean, we, as of right now, are anticipating we will have our Labor Day weekend camp. We're so excited. Of course, we are being cognizant of what's happening with these variants and whatever, happens according to CDC, or we just have to be aware of those things. So we'll keep you all updated. But as of right now, it looks like we are a go for graduate camp. So we're really excited. And save the date. So Heroes for Healing, as I mentioned, we have Moose and Pun on here who are one of our honorees for Heroes for Healing November 14th. We are so excited. You all know that in the past, Heroes for Healing has been more of a competition. We have some past heroes here with us today. And typically in the past, it was, a friendly competition, and whoever raised the most funds would be titled the Hero of the Year. Well, we decided to do away with the competition portion and just have 3 heroes that we're honoring. So more of a traditional gala. So you all know Pun and Moose have been volunteering with camp for more than 20 years. And of course, have had a tremendous impact on not just the child oncology community, but for children with disabilities as well. So we're so grateful for their contribution to the larger community, and we're really excited to celebrate them. Ophelia Kump, who is the U.S. Field Vice President in the Long Beach field office for McDonald's, and she's been a great supporter of camp and is a board member for Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southern California. Her children have actually participated in some of our online family games and also in Camp at Home last summer. So they are familiar with our new virtual programming. And Ophelia is just a very kind-hearted and really amazing leader in our community. So we're really excited to be honoring her. And then Alan and Heather Hakes, who are the founder and president of Hakes Sash and Door. And they are related to the Davises, who, well, through marriage, and that's how they were introduced to camp. And they've been supporting us for more than 5 years now, have been generous, major donors of ours. And so we're really excited to celebrate them and all that they've contributed to camp. So it's going to be a cocktail attire. I'm sure what people are wondering, what do I wear? Cocktail attire gala at Bibiana. Again, it's going to be beautiful. And the QR code is right on the screen. So if you just want to open up your camera and go straight to the website and learn even more, you can do that by just snapping the QR code. And lastly, we have Marlene Sting, who's going to talk about other ways that you can support.
Hello, everyone. So yes, I'm going to talk about additional ways to support camp. Pretty much everyone who's on this call is already a very generous supporter of camp and advocate for camp, but this is just a rundown of our needs at the moment and information for you to have in your back pocket. If anyone in your own personal circle is interested in supporting camp, I'll just go over really quickly some of the ways that you can do that, or someone you know can do that. Camp at Home right now, we're continuing to seek sponsorships for Camp in a Box. We have a fundraising goal of $70,000, which generously, covers the expenses for all of the Camp in a Box kits will have provided this year for campers participating in Camp at Home. If you log on our website or click the support Camp in a Box button at the bottom of a recent email, you'll see we're at about $5,178. So we still have a ways to go to completely cover the costs of Camp in a Box. So that's one great way to support camp right now. It's $50 a box, but any amount is very much appreciated. The Med Shed will be reopening since we are going to be holding in-person programming over Labor Day weekend. But as you can imagine, because it's been closed for 15 months since quarantine began, a lot of our medications have expired. So we're going to be needing to, refurbish our stock of medications in the Med Shed. As well as, our medical committee volunteers have already gone in and identified some needs for new furniture, to accommodate the kiddos and keep them comfortable. So Med Shed, medications and furniture is another area of support for this reopening, which we're very excited about. Fred and Fran Hill Legacy Society is the planned giving society for the entire chapter. So it encompasses all of our programs, including camp, and is essentially, its members are people who have either, left, remembered of RMHCSC program, including camp in their estate plans, or even, started a charitable gift annuity in their lifetimes. That's another option. You can make a donation to camp or another RMHCSC program and, receive tax benefits as well as income in your lifetime. So if anyone is interested in Fred and Fran Hill, by all means, reach out and I can provide you with more information. And lastly, Circle of Healing, which is our monthly giving program. I'm very happy to say that since we relaunched our monthly giving program in the fall of 2019, our membership in Circle of Healing has increased by just over 880%. But we still have a ways to go before, more, all of our donors, or a good portion of them, are giving monthly. And something we really want to highlight is it doesn't have to be a large amount every month. As little as $10 a month from a donor or donors goes a long way in terms of, providing camp with a steady stream of revenue that we can count on throughout the year, as well as helping us cut down on our, fundraising costs. And a benefit for people who join the Circle of Healing, along with, some cute swag that we send out, is quarterly updates from campers and staff that are exclusive to Circle of Healing members. So we'd like to encourage people to consider, giving monthly to camp on top of, what you're already giving, or just introducing this to people who might be interested in supporting camp.
Awesome, thank you. So that is our presentation, and I'll open it up to questions. I do see that you'll ask a question about the number of campers who will be able to join graduate camp, and we're looking at between 60 to 80 campers, 80 being our max, where we can still comfortably do some social distancing, even with everyone being fully vaccinated, and making sure that we're just keeping everybody safe. Other questions? Awesome. Well, was someone going to ask a question? No? Okay. Well, I think we did such a good job of being so thorough that there are no questions. Let's see. How do we sign up for that camp, for graduate camp? That's a great question. Chad, do you want to answer that question?
Who is that from? I don't know who. Is that a camper or a counselor?
It's Christina. I don't have a last name.
Well, no one can sign up yet. That'll come out probably in August. And we will be shooting that out to, the first wave will be those campers that Monet mentioned, those campers who have graduated in the last 2 years who didn't get to do their last session at camp. So they'll get the first crack. Then we will open it up to our oldest teens and work our way down. For counselors, the first crack will actually go to those counselors who are volunteering for summer this year on the online camp. That was one of the incentives to sign up and help us out this summer, is that they got first crack at signing up for the first in-person camp. And then if there's spots still left, which I'm not thinking there will be, knowing those counselors, then we'll open it up to our counselors at large. So that is the order there.
Excellent. Thank you, Chad. Other questions? I would like to just, before we go, give Dr. Stu a plug, because if you haven't seen on Spectrum Channel 1, he was highlighted, and there's a whole 30-minute piece about Dr. Stu and how he was integral in founding our Los Angeles Ronald McDonald House, and of course founding camp. So I just want to, hats off to Dr. Stu, and we're so fortunate to call him ours. So definitely, if you don't have Spectrum, go online and watch the full 30 minutes. It's really worth it. Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here today, and we look forward to seeing you online, whether it's during camp at home or hopefully seeing you on the 14th at the Gala. Have a good one, everybody. Oh wait, Chad, is it your birthday today? Let's see.
Yep.
Oh,
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, John!
Thank you.
thank you, Megan, for
Both sides.
We could do a terrible birthday song, but it's
You have to do the camp song. Yes, the camp song.
Oh yes.
Happy birthday, Chad.
Gonna
Thanks,
start
Carol.
do it.
Sides.
Sides is sitting in her office. I saw a coworker walk in a second ago.
Oh.
There's a birthday in the house, in the house, in the house. Birthday in the house.
In the house, in the house.
Happy birthday,
Birthday,
Chad. Happy birthday, Chad.
Thanks, y'all. I
Yay.
appreciate it.
We appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
Chad. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Congratulations on another trip around the sun.
Yeah, thank you. We made it another one.
Love it.
All right, everyone. We'll be
Awesome.
seeing
Bye,
you soon.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.